Namaste people, I am Anmol Sarkar. So if you have seen my introduction video, you guys must have an idea about who I am and what I am trying to do and what this channel is all about. And if you have not seen that video, please go and watch that video. For Facebook, I'll share the link in the comment section, and for YouTube in the description below. And without fail, please like and subscribe my channel so that I can come up with more such informative videos for you guys. So let's get it straight down to today's topic without wasting any further time. So if you remember that in last video I have spoken about how this Caldwell and G.U. Pope tried to map. First they tried to Christianize Thirukural. They used a three-pronged strategy. Then second, in last video we saw how they were trying to map Shaivism into Christianity when they could not degrade and they faced severe backslash by the Tamil scholars of that time. They simply appropriated what good was there in Christianity, what good was there in Shaivism into Christianity, and all the bad things they simply blamed it on Indian culture and claimed that Shaivism has Christian roots. So in today's video also we will just go through an extension of that. We will see a particular historian who goes by the name M.S. Purnalingam Pillai. We will see what he has written in his book and all, and how he has tried to carry on this Caldwell and G.U. Pope's theory further in the 20th century also. Okay. So this M.S. Purnalingam Pillai's book, which goes by the name A Primer of Tamil Literature, which was written in 1904. Name is The Primer of Tamil Literature. Took this missionary thesis at its basis and framed the Tamil literary history in the terms of Aryan Dravidian struggle, as I have told you how they were trying to map it, and this guy just took that further and he glorified these popes and what we say Caldwell's thesis or work. The Kural and the Shaiva Siddhanta were recontextualized as a part of this framing. Pillai assigned that the Kural to the Sangam period up to 100 BCE, which he claimed that was the most influential Tamil period and free from influence of Aryans and Sanskrit. Okay, so what this Pillai guy did, he appropriated Kural to the 100 BC, that is the Sangam period, that is the 100 BC, which was wrong. The teachings of Shaiva Siddhanta predated much more back. It went actually much back into the history, and it was also a part of the, not a part, but it was what we say an intermix or an intermix of the Aryan Sanskrit, where many of the traditions and languages were a part of Aryan literature, or the what we say that then called Sanskrit literature. Actually Aryans never existed, so it is very wrong word for me to use that Aryan literature. So Aryan literature did not exist. So he echoed Pope's praise for Kural as the greatest masterpiece of the ancient Tamil paradise, describing highly developed forms of religions and philosophy. According to Pillai's history of Tamil literature, the Sangam period was followed between 100 CE and 600 CE by the age of Buddhists and Jains. So as we have seen that how G.U. Pope never considered Buddhists and Jains as threats because they were in minorities, and he tried to appropriate this Jain literature and Buddhist literature to the Tamil Sangam literature, and they tried to project it as a Christian context, means as a branch of, or as a perverted form of Christianity. He emphasized that Buddhists and Jains were all Tamil outsiders. During this period, the Tamil nation was populated by three different ethnic groups, that is Tamils, Aryans and Buddhists and Jains. So Pillai said that while Buddhists and Jains came from North India, they, unlike Aryans, lived peacefully with other religions, never attacked any ancient and unadulterated Shaivism, which is true. But they said that Aryans attacked Shaivism and Tamil literature, which is absolutely false. They never did so. It was all done to propagate this Christian evangelical agenda. Now, Pillai calls the next period the age of revolution from 700 BC to 900 BC. He claimed that this was when the ancient Tamil religion began to reassert itself from several centuries of darkness. Through it underwent several shameful compromises with Aryanism in order to do so. He quotes that, quote unquote, he says that in the course of the century, the Tamil Shaivas who were vegetarians and who had looked upon Aryas as Malechas means people who are uneducated, basically illiterate. Okay, illiterate people are known as Malechas for their habits of meat eating and drinking intoxicants as untouchables, came by the force of juxtaposition of Aryan adaptability. And juxtaposition means a contradiction of black and white in the same picture. Okay, for example, if you have a picture and if you have a frame or if you have a photograph in you, if that photograph projects two contradicting realities within it, that is known as juxtaposition. So by the force of this juxtaposition of Aryan and Dravidian adaptability and of political contingency to be reconciled to the ways of habits of their neighbors and to accept authorities of Vedas, Shaivism, accepting the Vedic rule, became metamorphed into Vedic or Vedika Shaivism. So he also wrote, when he was appealing to Tamils, he also wrote, quote unquote, that the Shaiva Siddhanta is the indigenous philosophy of South India. This is true, and the choicest product of Tamil intellect. This is the noble system based on the Agamas and the Shaiva scriptures, and it was corrupted by Puranic writers. This is false. Puranic means the Aryan and Puranic writers, whose sole object was to reconcile the Vedas and the Agamas. The Tamil, overborne by the political ascendancy of the Aryans, accepted the system. Bhakti or loving pity, the root idea of the Shaiva system, enabled person, whatever their caste is, color or creed is, such a widely tolerant, enabling. Just look how he is praising the Shaiva Siddhanta, and he is telling that Aryans came and corrupted it through their Puranic writings, which is false. Such a widely tolerant and ennobling rationalistic faith has been made to assume the garb of thoroughly intolerant, fictitious and meanly selfish system. The Tamil, therefore, are in duty to born to throw this Puranic veil which dims their vision and to realize the old conception and endorse the enshrined value system in the ancient Tamil poems based on the Tamilian Agamas. Okay, so these were some passages from what he has written in that book called The Primer of Tamil Literature. So this made the foundation further stronger or solid for Christianity to propagate in the 20th century. Now Tamil religion becomes early Indian Christianity. They wanted to say that the Tamil religion was originated from that Christian religion, and it was the main source of civilization in India, as we have seen in the mosaic ethnology of Ham, Shep and Japheth. Okay, so the subsequent theories constructed by the missionaries were attempted to show that Kural and Shaiva Siddhanta were anti-Aryan or similar to Christianity. Recently, the highly endorsed evangelist propaganda book India as a Christian Nation builds upon this foundation started by Caldwell and Pope to reinterpret Tamil spirituality as a part of Christianity. It discusses the great possibilities to discern the hidden truths of Shaivism and Vaishnavism as nothing but early Indian Christianity, as we have discussed in one of our videos about the mosaic ethnology and how they were coupling into it, coupling Shaivism and Jainism and Buddhism into it. Okay, the institutional and transnational support given to this thesis, we will discuss it further. Presently, suffice to say that the colonial, racial categorization of the Indian population and deconstruction of India's religions and spirituality have become a deadly mixture, leading towards a disastrous future. So by separating identities and giving new identities and implanting new fault lines, gave India a very deadly future, and we are a part of that future, whose seeds were laid 200 years before. So this was it for today, guys. Please enjoy this video, and from tomorrow's lecture we will see how this Dravidian racism propagated in Sri Lanka, and how this Caldwell and Pope again tried to separate identities of Buddhists and Tamils, propagated Sinhalese Buddhists as Aryans and Tamils as Dravidians, and we shall go into all that. So till then, enjoy this video, guys, and have a nice day.